Holy shit, YouTube, something I'm very excited to talk about, something that I think a lot of people didn't even know was possible. It looks like Fable 4 is happening. Now before we hop into it, we are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, hook your boy up with that subscribe. Now this is something that some of you guys might already know about. Some of the articles I'll have linked below go back as far as like January this year, beginning of 2018. I just now learned about this. Recording my most recent video, the potential leaks for E3 2018, there's a part of the article where they're talking about the developer for Forza, and how they are rumored to be working on Fable 4, and for whatever reason, this didn't capture my attention at the time. It wasn't until after the recording process and doing a little bit of editing on the video that I realized, wait a second, nobody knew there was supposed to be a Fable 4. You know, over 2 years ago, Microsoft shut down Lionhead Studios, the people that make the Fable series, so I think most of us assumed there was never going to be more Fable games. Now, just because Lionhead got shut down, that doesn't mean that other Fable games couldn't exist, but they'd made all the Fable games so far, or at least had a hand in making all the Fable games so far, and the recent Fable games have been kind of on the decline, ever since, like, Fable 3, then there was, like, Journey, and obviously Legends got canceled as well, so like the Fable series was on the decline, Lionhead wasn't performing that well, so Microsoft shut them down, so we just kind of assumed, at least I did, that there weren't going to be more Fable games. But it looks like I might have been wrong, and I couldn't possibly be happier. When Lionhead Studios closed just over 2 years ago, everyone thought Fable 4 was off the table. The Fable creator was shut down in early 2016, and with it went Fable Legends, the free-to-play multiplayer version of the classic open-world series. And of course, the dream of Fable 4 went too. Or so we thought. In January this year, Eurogamer managed to get a scoop on the fact that Fable 4 actually exists, so now at least we know that it is coming, just not from Lionhead. According to the report, which comes from sources close to the project, the next Fable is in works by another UK-based developer, Playground Games. The studio, which has made its name by creating the Forza Horizon series, is currently recruiting more developers for its new second office in Leamington Spa, with the aim of creating a new team of around 200 to work on Fable 4. Fans will be pleased to hear that the next Fable will follow the cues set out by previous games in the main series, with Fable 4 set to be another open-world action RPG focused on story and characters. Playground Games has been openly advertising for developers to work on a AAA open-world RPG before the Eurogamer report too, which caused rumors to spark about a brand new IP for the studio. Forza Horizon might be open world, but it's certainly not an RPG. So yeah, it seems kind of weird at first when you think about it. The studio that makes Forza Horizon, a car game, open world car game series, is going to be working on the next Fable game. But the Forza Horizon series is open world, so they at least have that aspect already under their belt, and this wouldn't be the first time that a studio transitioned completely. A separate article pointed out that Guerrilla Games, for example, was pretty much only known for the Killzone series, but went on to make Horizon Zero Dawn, which is, one of the best open-world RPGs we've had in a long time. So a certain developer not having a history with a certain genre of games doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad, but of course it doesn't mean it's going to be good either, we just have to wait and see. The Fable 4 rumors don't stop there, though. That report was backed up by an Xbox Live API leak that emerged a little earlier this year, which suggested that a Fable game with the codename Wisdom is in the works, again by a UK developer. A former Lionhead lead engine programmer, Don Williamson, also posted on Twitter that he knew a UK studio was working on Fable 4. He stated he thought the choice was interesting, but later deleted the tweet. WCCF Tech managed to capture the tweet though, which read, okay, having no inside information, I totally know who's building Fable 4 now. Interesting choice. He later replied to another user who asked whether the studio was based in Brighton, another UK locale, but he said there wasn't a studio capable of the task in that area. So the fact that this guy, who was a former employee for Lionhead, the lead engine programmer, actually tweeted out about how he knows who is actually working on Fable 4 and that it is an interesting choice, and then later deleted that tweet, just kind of adds that little bit of credibility to this. He is somebody who would probably be in the know about another Fable game, even though Lionhead's not around anymore. The Fable 4 release date is probably a long way away, but before you get too excited, it's looking very likely we're going to be in for quite the wait for a Fable 4 release date. Playground is still working on pulling a development team together, so work on recreating Albion in all its glory is going to take a little while. What could happen is that Fable 4 gets an official E3 2018 announcement with a cheeky teaser trailer revealing that it's on the way. The Xbox is struggling a little with exclusives nowadays, beyond Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and a handful of indie titles, so it would be a huge boon for gamers to know that something else is en route. My dudes, if we get a reveal for Fable 4 at E3 2018, I'm going to lose my shit. Even if we're like 2+ years out from release, if we actually get some kind of teaser trailer or something, it's going to be awesome. The Fable games are pretty good in my opinion, not necessarily great. Peter Molyneux always promised more than he could ever deliver with the games, but the first one's really good in my opinion. The second one is potentially even better. The third one was a bit of a flop, and I don't care about the branch-off games, but a fourth one is something I'm so excited for. I feel like the Fable series kind of has its own niche, its own little corner in like the open world RPG market. It has a unique style, unique sense of humor, unique characters, unique enemies, clothing, there's something about it that's special, and I always hope they'd keep making games for it. It's a game about choices, but it mostly just boils down to the good guy choice or the bad guy choice. That's pretty much it, and your choices don't really have that much of an impact on the world, if anything at all, and that's something they need to improve upon in the future. Anyways, my dudes, hopefully this shit is legit. I'll have everything linked below. Let's just kind of have our ears out and our eyes open for E3 2018. If this shit does actually get revealed at E3, it might steal the show for me, depending on what else is revealed. And with all that out of the way, hopefully you guys, girls, and transgenders went on to enjoy the video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at @the-david. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Very well, hero. Do your worst. I am no defenseless old man. I have powers that you can't begin to...